A lot of sides have a key player, a dominant player, someone who can score 100. Lucknow are one of them. They've got KL Rahul, who occasionally makes hundreds for fun, but also tends to get out for first ball ducks. Sometimes even a duck without facing a ball. That's the predicament Lucknow were faced with, and how well they came out of it. At the other end, it didn't impact Quinton de Kock, didn't impact Deepak Hooda, and they stepped on the gas as if nothing had happened. And this is where they've taken the men in turquoise at the 10 over mark to 90 for 2. A half century and out for Quinton de Kock. Hooda still going well, 31 of 21, and he's been joined by Krunal Pandya, who's already showing an inclination to get going as we start. Joined on Cricbuzz Comm Box by Lisa Sthalekar. Not too many teams would recover this efficiently, Lisa, from a diamond duck as KL Rahul suffered. But obviously, they've got the character to put it behind them quickly.
Yeah, they have. I think Deepak Hooda has been probably a key for them, hasn't he, in kind of cementing that number 3 position. And you wanted Quinton de Kock in the absence of KL Rahul to really step up, and that's exactly what he was able to do. And now the great thing about them is that they've still got hitters to go. I mean, Deepak Hooda is still 31 off 21. Krunal Pandya is still kind of getting used to things there, but you watch him, he'll go big. If not, he'll get out and then brings in Stoinis. So the platform is absolutely set for Lucknow to post a decent total.
It certainly is. Kolkata once again look like they've not got that stranglehold in the middle, having an Anukul Roy there with his inexperience, not quite the same as Varun Chakravarti in his prime, Lisa. So again, Sunil Narayan having to play a lone hand in trying to sort of put any sort of brakes on.
That's been the problem, hasn't it, for them? And I mean, Sunil Narayan, look at the economy rate, really good. Marvi as well has been excellent. Tim Southey, you know that he's going to produce wickets, but it's really that they're spinners that they've needed to rely on a lot to make that breakthrough. We spoke at the start of this match, has been going for none for 21, 24, those type of figures, which is economical, but really he needs to pick up wickets, and he did today, and he's still got a few overs left.
For a team that has won championships, that bowling lineup just doesn't inspire confidence, does it? I mean, with all due respect to youngsters coming in, this has been a tournament where youngsters have put their hand up. But an Anukul Roy, a Harshit Rana, and Shivam Mavi, who's maybe not as established even as some of the other performers this season, all three in the same 11 or in the same 5, that just doesn't inspire anything.
No, I guess, if you're going to be a youngster coming into the IPL and you wanting to have an impact, what we've seen that's been effective is someone like an Umran Malik who bowls it at 150 clicks, or when Varun Chakravarti kind of burst onto the scenes, it was that mystery spinner, the one that you just couldn't quite understand all of his deliveries. But your run-of-the-mill type players, and there's nothing wrong with them, just maybe takes them a little bit longer to have an impact, because they've got to figure out what their tricks are. What is their line and lengths? What is their go-to ball when they're getting hit, and at the different phases within the match.
The other quick point to finish on the Kolkata bowling is that for many of the performers who have come up from nowhere, be it Yash Dayal or Mohsin Khan, they've sort of been the only one in that lineup along with many other experienced bowlers. Here you've got 3 out of 5 who are relatively less experienced than the 2, which are Saudi and Narayan.
Yeah, which means that potentially they're going to have to be chasing a lot of runs. And the other issue that Kolkata have is that their opening partnerships, they have not been able to figure it out. So I think they've gone through 6 different opening combinations. So sometimes you can balance things out. So if you've got an inexperienced bowling lineup, you've got all your heavy hitters from a batting perspective. But as the saying goes, bowlers win you tournaments, batters win you player of the match performances. So they need a little bit more from their bowlers if they're going to challenge that top 4.
On Lucknow, now with the batting order sort of fluid, Marcus Stoinis probably has his pads on from the start of the innings, come what may. Who would you push in next, given the kind of platform they've got? Because they've started well, they need to finish at a 180, 190 type score.
Yeah, it has to be Stoinis, doesn't he? He has to come in. I mean, you've got Badoni as well and Holder who can whack it. So they've still got, 3 guys that can go big, which is a good sign for them. And whilst these 2 stay out there with the partnership that they're building, it is setting it up. But I don't want Stoinis to come in too late. I mean, I mentioned that at the start. I think this is the perfect time. Gives them probably about 30, 35 deliveries potentially. I think that's good enough to have a huge impact.
So, big man, the Hulk, we're probably going to see at the other end, Kolkata's Hulk probably get a couple of overs. Andre Russell.
Yeah, we know that he tends to bowl at the back end, doesn't he? Right at that death overs, he seems to be able to surprise the batters as well, because he kind of loafs in and then just is able to generate the heavy ball. So they'll look to him to kind of close things out again, and they'll need it because I think there'll be a sizable total.
Yeah, I think it's inevitable now. Just when he comes on, we'll wait and see. For the moment, it looks like a pretty decent total on the board. Kolkata will have some chasing to do to try and get the 2 points they so desperately need. That's all we have on Cricbuzz Comm Box. We, of course, will wrap up the mid innings in about 8 overs' time. We'll see you then.